Hey y'all, it's the Media Chat Room and we're here for an update on the Jeannie Mai and Jezy divorce. Now before we get into what the headlines are talking about, I'ma need y'all to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, send it to all your friends and family, and make sure that you turn on your notification bell so that you know when we drop our next video. We provide good quality content for our Chatty Patty lovers out there, so make sure that you keep up with us and join in on the talk. Y'all, here's one of the stories that we've been following since day one. And to get caught up on how we do things over here, make sure that you go and check out those previous videos that we've covered. And I'm gonna make sure that I leave those links in the description box, so check it out. Now y'all know Jezy has added author to his title, as he recently released a memoir called Adversity for Sale that came out August the 8th. And since then, he's been on tour to promote his book. Now, child, in the midst of it all, we know he was able to find time to go ahead and file for a divorce from Jeannie Mai. But we ain't gonna talk about that because y'all gonna go ahead and watch the previous video. And since then, he's just been carrying on with no worries in the world. We done even seen him perform a couple of times at some events. And even recently, he stopped by the Tamron Hall Show to do an interview. Now, one of the most notable things that he's talked about in this interview is his previous experience with depression. I'm sure it's in the book, but it's a good way to deflect from getting asked some of those hard questions pertaining to that divorce that he filed. We do know him to be private, however, this was a very, very publicized divorce, and people are waiting for him to say something. And since he has not yet, I'm assuming that he's gonna keep it that way, and I'm pretty sure that he's been advised by counsel not to speak. So we're just gonna go ahead and show you guys what he said during the interview.
You touched on the insecurity of a child, but also as a man recognizing that you'd suffered from anxiety at different points in your life. And you said nobody was talking about anxiety disorders, especially not in the hood.
Right.
Our season 5, though, we've dedicated it to being free and feeling free.
Right.
Writing those words about the anxiety and freeing yourself from the stigma, how did that make you a better person?
Well, I learned that vulnerability is power. It's power. And I learned that I thought something was wrong with me, right? Because you thinking I come from poverty, this is how it is. I didn't understand like trauma and all these different things. So as I started to get the wordage for it and started to understand and grab tools, I started to become better. And I started on my journey, and that's why I'm expressing it and putting it in the book, because I didn't know I was depressed for like 8 years of my life straight. You know
what were you feeling during those 8 years?
I mean, like you wake up and you want to go back to sleep forever, you know? and I was leaning into my vices. You know, I was leaning, and that's what street life does to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like once you lose 200, 300, 400 people, like gone forever, you know, you get numb, right? And I wasn't able to get in touch with my emotions, and I was wondering why. You know, thank God for my kids, but it was a time where I was just cold, you know? That's when I was young Jezy, so, you know, I don't know if you'd had me on the show then.
Now, y'all, we was listening to the interview, but we couldn't help but notice that he was still wearing his wedding ring. And no, it doesn't mean that they're getting back together. It just means that he's consulted with his team, and they think that it's a good idea for him to go ahead and keep it on. Y'all know everything is about perception in these headlines, and I bet you he's not going to take it off until he's officially divorced. But I believe that it's actually a great tactic to keep everybody focused on the book, because overall, it does send a good message to the youth. And y'all, sometimes these kids are making decisions just based off of moments in their lives. Oftentimes, when people talk about that specific type of lifestyle that Jezy used to live, they say that the results are either being dead or in jail. And he actually added another layer to it, which is mental health. Him focusing on serious topics will allow him to avoid and dodge those divorce questions. And y'all, I can't be mad at that, so we're gonna let him live. But best believe, when those divorce papers are final and filed, we're going through them. Now, y'all, on to his soon-to-be ex-wife, Jeannie Mai. Now, in one of our quick chats last week, we announced that Jeannie Mai had released a statement for the first time. She took to her Instagram and posted saying that she was going to take a break and start to heal. And shortly after that, she did have to do some runs because she does have a new show coming out. Now, one of her first stops on the promotional tour was to my girl, Sherry Shepherd. And I actually thought this was a great interview, and that was a great first interview. And it was smart, too, because Sherry Shepherd herself has gone through 2 divorces, and they both have been very public. So it gave her a chance to ease into some of the questions and to be very gentle with handling them. And here's what happened during the interview.
No, because I'm one that has been through it, and we are praying for you, but you're going through this divorce. How you doing, Mama?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, you know, it takes every day to just really sit and just be quiet in your thoughts, take care of me. But one thing I know is you give God your pain, he will give you his power. Girl, period. So every day, I'm like, here you go. You got room for more? Here's some more.
Here you go.
And just taking it day by day, you know?
I know mine was, I was like, being on my knees, I'd be like, just give me enough light for this where I'm at and show me what my assignment is today. I couldn't worry about
Yes.
nothing else.
Yes.
You just got to put on the blinders. Girl.
Absolutely, and turning off everything helps too.
Yes.
You know, after that moment, I just turned off every single device in my house, and I really tuned into the voices I really needed to hear, which was me and the truth.
That's it.
And y'all, that truth was probably the fact that Jezy did not want to work through it. He wanted to move forward with the divorce. Now, y'all know we was listening and watching. And we see that Jeannie has removed her wedding ring. And not only has she removed her wedding ring, she also removed her last name, Jenkins, from her Instagram. So now y'all know it's over. And y'all, that wasn't her only press run. She actually stopped at ET as well, and they asked her about her divorce as well. Now, I won't play it because she basically said the same thing, that she's just taking it a day at a time and focusing on her daughter. But what I did notice was the look on her co-host's face, who is going to be Damon Waynes Jr. And he's just looking like, here we go. Having to address the headlines and personal issues that's happening on social media, it can distract your promotional tour. And if I was Jeannie, I'll go ahead and get with my PR person and let them know that this question pertaining to my relationship and personal life are not to be asked during the interviews. Because honestly, at this point, there's not going to be much of a change in her response. There's no need to be distracted by what's going on in the headlines. Let's stick to the script and focus on the show, because I'm about to be a single woman and I got to secure this bag. I'm wishing the best for her. There is a court date coming because she did contest the divorce, so of course we will be following those headlines. And just to be sure we didn't miss nothing, we also went snooping on her ex-husband's page as well as his new wife to see if anything has been posted, and as of now, neither one of them has posted. Now y'all know it was a lot of drama coming from that end when that divorce was going on, so I just had to check and make sure we was dotting all our I's and crossing our T's. Another page that we're going to be following for sure is Hello Honey, which is Jeannie Mai's YouTube channel, just to see if she posts anything, because y'all know she says she keep it real. Now because she does have a new show coming out, I doubt that she will, just depending on the strategy that her and her PR team come up with. Now Chatty Patty, it's time to get down in those comments. Let me know if you're surprised to see that Jezy is still wearing his wedding ring, like he wasn't the one who filed for a divorce. And also let me know, do you like his team's strategy in not talking about the divorce? Do you think it's a tactic to make him look a little bit more favorable to women because he is the one who filed for a divorce? And let me know what y'all think about the way that Jeannie is handling her responses to the divorce. Do you think it's a good idea for her to continue to address these questions now that she's on promotional tour for her new show? And do you think that she'll actually take to her YouTube channel to address anything going on now that she's finally returned to the public? And y'all know I'm headed to the comments because I can't wait to hear from y'all. And y'all, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you check out our other content and subscribe to the page. Also, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button so that other Chatty Patties can find us out there. And make sure that you share the channel with your bestie. And last but not least, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you know when we drop our next video. As always, I'm going to look for the next headlines to dive into, and I will see y'all in the comments. So until next time, bye bye.